Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. I'm excited to be here today for our live Q&A. And as I promised you, you will bring the questions and I'll bring the answers. And this is your opportunity to ask me anything. And I mean, there's nothing off the table. So I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom, strategist, business, and life coach. And I started my company 17 years ago. For those of you who are just meeting me, it's nice to virtually meet you. I made the simple decision 17 years ago to go to work as myself. And I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer. And I wanted to figure out how could I package my skills, my soft skills in motherhood into my very own business. And I didn't know how I could take my knowledge, my background, my experience, and go to work as myself doing what I have been doing, what I had been doing just naturally in my life. And now this is going to be for those of you, hey, Kathy, this is going to be for those of you who have ever asked this question, like, how can I take my knowledge and package what I'm doing that into my own business as a service or a product? And I did exactly that. I had that thought, those questions 17 years ago. And the very first thing I did, I started looking for someone to help me. And I bumped into an amazing coach, and her model changed my life. And it was the first time for me I had ever seen someone doing what I wanted to do. Now, can you relate to that? Like maybe you're like me, right? And you are online right now and you see people who you've been following and you're like, you're doing what I want to do. That was me. And I went to a live event and that event changed my life. And I knew that what I wanted to do was called coaching. I had never thought about being a coach. I had never thought of it. And fast forward, as a result of building an amazing coaching practice. Hey, Jeanette, as a result of being running an amazing coaching practice, I've been able to show up for my family in incredible ways. And that were really important to me. And so today is a live Q&A. And I'm gonna answer the questions that you have for me on the floor today. And there is nothing off the table. And my only goal, as a result of spending quality time with you, is to support you in taking highly actionable steps to change your life. Because I know that nothing will change, okay, because of hoping and wishing. It doesn't. It changes because of the choices that we make. Now, my commitment to you is that I will stay on here as long as you have questions for me, okay? And but if there aren't any questions, I'll sign off, okay? And I'll tell you this, that when I decided to start my business, there were no guarantees. There was no assurance that what I wanted to do was going to work. But what I did have assurance of was my own commitment. And we'll talk a great deal about that today, Katrina. It was my own personal commitment. I knew I wasn't going to quit on myself. I knew that I couldn't work 40 plus years for anyone and retire that way. I knew I needed more than a corner office. I needed more than a title. I needed my freedom. Okay. And maybe if you're watching me, you're like, that's what I need, right? Like, I was like, I need my freedom. I need to be able to own my life. When I have my kids, I want to be able to do with them what I want to do. And I don't want to have to ask permission to live my life. I wanted freedom. And I also wanted to have financial security so that money would no longer be a concern. Okay. So that where I sent my kids to school would not be a concern. And so my husband and I have invested over $1 million plus educating our kids just in elementary, middle, and high school, because we wanted to give them a world-class education, right? And I knew that running a great business and company the right way would allow me to do that. I knew that if I could run this business properly, I could get myself free. But I wanted to not only get free, hear me on this, I wanted to figure out how to stay free. If you guys, anybody out there interested in not only getting yourself free, becoming a full-time entrepreneur, but knowing that based on what you built, that the system was so solid that you used, that you could stay free. That was also important to me, because I didn't want to come home one year and then have to go back to work the next year. And I didn't want to build my business based on any of these crazy models, hustle and grinding, all the entire business. I wanted to figure out how could I build a business the right way the first time. And you are in luck because I am fired up to talk about exactly those things today. Now, the way that the live Q&A is going to work, you guys are going to write questions. I'm going to open the floor shortly, and you'll be able to write whatever questions you have for me, and I'll answer them. And I will answer them. My goal here, let me tell you, why am I doing this? I'm telling you because a lot of you are here in the community. You've been watching me for years on my Facebook pages, on my Periscope pages, and maybe you've had a question that you wanted me to answer for you that based on what I was talking about, there wasn't an opportunity for me to do that. So I wanted to give you the opportunity today to get your questions answered. And also, I'm going to share with each and every one of you. I'll make a recommendation in terms of what I think I have in my arsenal that could be of great support to you to solve whatever it is that you're asking me about. Deal. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. And so I want to just, put everybody at ease. And I want you to know that I'm not leaving. I'm not rushing through this live tonight. Okay. I'm going to answer the questions that are here. And so you need to pull up a chair. You need to write down something really thoughtful that you've always wanted to ask me. Maybe it could be something about your skill, your background, and how might I be able to support you, right? In terms of being able to realize what you want to do. Because maybe that's the thing that's missing, right? You're like, I like her, but I don't know if she can help me. All right. Now's your chance to get those questions answered. And I'll be here 100% to answer those questions. And so I was sharing with those of you who just joined me. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm a business coach, consultant, and I started my company a long time ago, over a decade. I've been a full-time entrepreneur, and my husband also a full-time entrepreneur. And it's something that I want to pass forward to my children, but it's also something that I want to pass forward to the people I care about, because I feel like as a mom, it's allowed me to show up in ways that I desired. I think I got things out of this deal that I didn't even know, right? Like I wanted to be free for sure, but I didn't realize the impact that I would put, that blueprint that I would paint for my kids of like my kids see a job, they see working for someone else as something that maybe you do to fine tune something, but you definitely would start your own company. They start in such a different way than I did years ago, just because of what they've seen, and knowing that you do not have to trade time for income, and teaching that to our kids is such a tremendous gift, because I learned that later, right, in my life, right after 30, and for them to be so young and that's their understanding, I think is a great gift. I would say that, and then we'll start writing down your questions. You guys can start posting them here. It's a live Q&A. I would say that to me, one of the greatest blessings of running this business happened for us specifically when they were tested, put it that way, when my husband developed kidney disease over 10 years ago, and he went on dialysis. And I don't know what you guys know about dialysis, but it's a very aggressive therapy. It was 3 days a week, 3 hours each time. And the kids were really young at the time. My oldest was 11, my daughter was 9, my youngest was 6. And I had to show up differently in my family, right? I had to stand in the gap in different ways. And one of the things that I never had to compromise on, or my husband didn't have to compromise on, was his health during that moment. We could hire a private physician for him for several years so that he could get an elevated level of care. Right. So we hired a boutique doctor for him that, in essence, coordinated all of his cares. I believe it's the reason why when my husband got a kidney transplant, he did amazingly well and it's done super today, is because we could afford the care he needed. And I think also what happened was we were also able to give him the time to heal like he needed to. So he didn't have to run off from one thing to the next thing to generate income, that he could rest, right? Because we had a lifestyle that could accommodate that, because we were financially secure. We didn't have to compromise the things that mattered most. Healing sometimes has more to do with than just therapy. Sometimes the therapy is your life, right? Like your life. And I'm bringing this forward because I think that for those of you who don't know the story, Or for those of you who sometimes we think about running a business and we only hear people talk about money, money, money from the perspective of just so money centered. But I want you to hear my heart on this. I know firsthand the importance of building a business properly, because when I was tested, we were tested that we had different choices available to us because we had built a business properly. And, certainly running a business gives you the opportunity to travel the world. Okay. It gives you the opportunity to solve problems at a higher level. You have better choices. But when I go back and I think about, building this business, all being based on me having the idea that what I knew had value, this is what I want you to understand today. And I'm sharing my story at the opening just so that if you don't know me, you're thinking bigger right here, because this is not just about you using your talents to just make money. This is about you changing what next year looks like completely. And if you're this person and, hey there, darling, Dr. Hightower, how are you, darling? This is not just about you making money, okay? This is about you shifting how you live, okay, from this moment forward, because I don't just focus on just making money. I don't even relate to money in that way. Money is a tool that allows me to have an elevated lifestyle, that allows me to show up with my family differently, that allows me to date my husband in the middle of the day, wink, right? That allows me to do what I love and be paid properly compensated for what I know how to do. And that's what I transfer to my clients. I show them the exact systems that I use. No magic tricks, not, hustle and grind, none of that. I don't do any of that. I teach them high-level strategies based on leverage. And I believe this, that every single person here that's watching right now, that you can do exactly what I do if you know what I know, okay? Right? That if you know what I know, you can do what I do. Yes, that's right, Dr. Hightower. Midday dates, right? Their life, right? Love it. So today I'm going to share a lot of what I know with you, and I hope that you guys take full advantage. You should start writing down your questions. Today's a live Q&A. You can post your questions, start posting them here, and I'll answer them as they're coming in. All right. And then I'll make a recommendation based on what your question is. If I have a tool or a resource that I think would be helpful for you, I'm going to share with you what that is, because that's a question we get a lot, that my team member, Javier, tries to answer all the time. Like, what do you think Mia will think I should do? Or what do you have that I should do? And I'm going to recommend specifically based on what you're asking me, what that recommendation looks like. I'll be here as long as you are here with great questions. I'll answer them all. All right. So start writing your questions here, and I'll begin to answer them. And in the meantime, until the questions come, I'm going to just share parts of my story with you that really not in any way, just so that if you're just meeting me, you can get to know me better. All right. I'll tell you that I think one of the greatest gifts of running my company has been the women, the kind of clients that I work with. I work with women who call themselves giants. And I have to tell you that I only have an appetite to work with giants. And those are people who are smart, who are sharp, who believe in self-investment. They proactively seek the solutions they desire. They are not people who see what is and they do not move forward. Because let's be clear about this. If we're talking about making a life change, and we're talking about changing your life forever, you have to show up differently. And the people who do change their lives, right? They are, they're highly actionable. They're implementers, right? They're people who clap real loud for other people when they're achieving great and amazing success. To me, that's what a giant is. So those are the kind of women that I work with. And it is my honor, it literally is, to transfer what I know how to do exceptionally well to them. And so, sure, I could tell you as a coach or a consultant, or, I've done nationally syndicated television shows as the mom strategist. I've been signed to Emmy-nominated nationally syndicated TV shows multiple times. I've done corporate deals with Fortune 100 and 500 brands. That That's great. That's my story, right? I've made multi-millions as a coach, doing what I love to do. Okay, great. That's my story. And that is important for you to know, just in the context of I only teach what I know how to do. But the other part to me that's the most important is my ability, my exceptional ability, I have to say, to transfer what I know how to do, what I've done for myself to my clients. And one of the things that I back up, like without question, not just me saying it, my client sharing how, based on my systems, based on my training, based on my coaching, they have been able to create the exact same results that I have. And I'm excited about that. And that to me is really important. It's just more important to me is helping more people become six-figure plus a year earners, or helping more people have six-figure plus months. I actually had a client just a couple of weeks ago. They had a six-figure plus week, right? And another client who had a $79,000 2 week. You know, I just love it, right? Like, I mean, I that is to me the mark of a great coach. It's not what I'm doing, okay? All right, but it's like leading from the front and transferring what you know to other people. There are some questions. I'm super excited. I can't wait to answer your questions. Kathy, I'm so glad you're here. She writes, let me see if I can post your question here. I'm a divorcee, ended an abusive marriage. Why is your target market married women? My target market isn't married women. Nope, I work with women, and I also work with some women who are moms. And this is such a great question. A lot of the women I work with have been through divorce. And so you don't have to be married to work with me. But I do share my story for women who are married, Kathy, many who are in what I call codependent relationships, right? Where they can't make a decision without, you know, like they want to change their life, and you can't say yes to yourself without asking your husband if you can move forward. Like if I wanted to go to law school, why do I need to ask my husband, can I? All right, you guys got to understand that so many people are codependent on their husbands or their jobs before they can move forward. So I'm glad you wrote this question, because it doesn't matter that you're a divorcee. And I'm so glad you ended an abusive marriage, because you deserve more, okay? And my target market isn't married women. However, I am called the mom strategist. So when I started my company, I started my business using my soft skills and motherhood to support women with understanding that you have to make time for your own life in order for you to be the best and highest version to the people that matter to you most in your world. So a lot of my television appearances over the years, or my lifestyle branding, it's all on the mom strategy side. But as a business coaching consultant, the women that I teach how to do the things I've done, build strategic brands, build profitable coaching businesses, consulting businesses, training businesses, do licensing deals, etc. Be it TV personality. A lot of those women are on my coaching and consulting side of my company. So I hope that answers your question. But that was a great question, and I appreciate you for putting that there. All right, and please post again if you have any other follow-ups. Let's see. Madera writes, oh, okay. You look lovely. Thank you for taking this time with us. My question is, okay, one second, let me post this. I love to inspire people and speak encouragement directly to them. Yeah. But I'm not sure exactly what this translates to as a high ticket product solution. Do you have any suggestions? Sure. I mean, absolutely. So let's just say that as a coach, as a mentor, as a mentor to, I'm going to make this up, but let's say it's to women. There are tons of people who empower others to change their lives. It could be, if I use Kathy's story, she survived an abusive relationship. She might decide that based on her experience, that now she wants to coach other people and empower them how to get beyond an abusive divorce. And maybe, just maybe, based on her background, her lifestyle, she packages what she knows how to do to empower other women with what she did to empower herself to change her own life. That becomes the system. Okay. So Madera, you could do the same thing if you were working with women or men around a specific area that you're great at, that maybe your formula, your proprietary system in that sense, addresses how you get someone from A to Z the same way you've done this for yourself. So when I got started, I started with motherhood, like simply motherhood. Okay. I was a president of a mom's group, and all of these moms would frequently ask me questions around my ability to always make time for my own self-care. And I knew that, like, man, like I get a lot of questions about how did you find time to date yourself, or what do you do on a self date? And I knew that there was something that I could offer moms around the world. Okay. And so I looked at my own system, created it and built it, looked at what I was doing for myself, and decided that I would lead with as a mom strategist, giving moms strategy, just like the strategies that I've created for myself, right, in my own life. So it could be based on that system. And I think that if it's something that you love to do, Madera, then you'll be amazing at it. Okay. Because what I love to do is coach and train women. Okay. You are going to learn a lot from the training over the course of the week. It is literally the best training I have ever put together. I promise you, that you've ever seen. And I know that you love the Product Formula and Profit Strategy course, but the Giant Experience Conference, bar none, is the best training that I've put out there. Now, let me tell you, watch not only what you're studying, watch what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is what you want to do. Okay. So that's really important. So watch not only from the perspective of learning the materials, but watch what I do, because in essence, if you do the same thing, that's exactly the answer to your question. All right. And I think that that's what great teaching and coaching would look like. Okay. Constance writes, could you please suggest an accounting system that is easy to use for paying taxes, invoicing, blah, blah, blah? Yeah. I love 17 Hats. I think it's no secret. I love 17 Hats. Dubsado's the same. Really great to keep track of your invoice and all that. You can hook all of those in with the most popular accounting softwares like QuickBooks, etc. Okay. You can also upload your bank statements to there. And so it'll generate your profit and loss statements pretty easily for you. So I know that that will support you. Okay. And that was a great question. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so let me just tell you that I don't give any legal advice or accounting advice, because I am not an accountant or a legal advisor. Okay. However, what I do suggest that you do, okay, what I do suggest that you do is that you reach out to a insurance professional. And if you need a referral, I can refer you to someone in my community whose husband runs he runs an insurance brokerage, and he is certified to be able to properly give you the kind of advice that you are seeking here. So I always want to be honest about that, because I think one of the biggest issues is that people tell people to do things and they're not in the position to do that. All right. So I am not going to give anybody legal advice. Let me just tell you. Okay. Or accounting advice. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. There's certainly things that I do that are best practices for my company, but I don't know if those are the best for you. But I can make a referral to you. And if you reach out, Kim Benson, her husband owns an insurance brokerage. He might even refer you to someone in your state that he can give you best practices, because that's what his expertise is. Okay. Angeline, I see you. I'm so glad you're here, right? And Angeline writes, and I think this is for you, Kathy. This is Angeline. Angeline, I'm a client and I am divorced. Mia has added exceptional value to me as a single mom and a foster mom. So I'm glad that you wrote that. Thank you, Angeline, for putting that there. Are you guys getting value? This is going to be so much fun today. I'm excited. I know that you are also. But yeah, I definitely work with women who they come from all different types of lifestyle backgrounds. Kim, I just talked about you a minute ago, right? Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Kim just shot. I didn't even know you were here. I just talked about you, right? So Kim, there is a woman here who Savvy, it's not really her name, who is looking for advice on the proper insurance that she needs as a counselor that does wellness. Okay. And I said that she can speak to your husband because you guys, that's what you do. And that's what you do professionally. So perhaps you guys can connect offline. All right. I'm glad that I didn't even know you were here. So I'm so glad. I have the best clients ever, by the way, guys. They do everything. It's amazing. Smart, sharp women who believe in investing in themselves, who proactively seek the solutions that they desire. Hope you guys had a great and amazing holiday. Okay. And then Kathy says, I'm sorry, I thought I heard that on one of your videos. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here, Kathy, because maybe somebody else thinks the same thing. Okay. All right. So Constance has another question. She says, what is the best way to work with LinkedIn to reach those that can make the decision to purchase my services? I just got business upgrade on LinkedIn. You know what I use on LinkedIn is I actually use Sales Navigator, and I love it. Like Sales Navigator, maybe that's the upgrade that you made, will allow you to reach out to contacts that are not, you don't have to go through the same channels on LinkedIn to be connected. So Sales Navigator is a really great way that I connect with people who are my own ambition level and above, who I strategically eventually want to partner with, right, over time. And it gives me a quicker, easier way to be able to reach them than through conventional measures on LinkedIn. The other thing I think that's great on LinkedIn is that why don't you write some articles, like write professional articles, like on LinkedIn, weigh in with your opinion around the kind of results that you create. You now have this new client, right? You got a new client, you got a new contract, 25 grand, you close in 2 months of us working together. That client would be a great testimonial, right? Great testimonial, great case study, tell that story on LinkedIn so more people who are like that client can say, I see the results that you create. You got to understand what's the things going to separate you today. So many people tell all kinds of stories. They say they do all these things. They say they do all these things, right? And I think like we've fallen for so much, right? Like imagine that in order for me to tell you I'm successful, I screenshot my bank account. That's just one measure of what success looks like, right? Like to me, don't you build your business around your life? Don't you, like, I want to know what your life looks like. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to teach me, you got to be free. All right. Like, I need to see more than a bank account. You know what I mean? I only wanted to work with, this is me. I'm not saying this is you, but this is me. Okay. And this is how I think about things. When I picked my coach years ago, she had a couple things I wanted. One, she was doing what I wanted to do, the way I wanted to do it. As a coach, as a trainer, I was like, that's what I want to do. But I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know it was called coaching and consulting or anything like that. Two, she had has a tremendous relationship with her husband. And I was like, you know what? Family is everything to me, right? I wanted that woman. I had seen so many examples of women that were successful who didn't have successful relationships with their kids or with their partners. And that was something really important to me. So I wanted to learn from someone that figured out that balance and what it looked like, because I want a mentor that's got it all. Okay. You know, and I wanted someone that had lifestyle. And to me, lifestyle meant more than money. Okay. Because my coach does exceptionally well, but she has more than money. She has lifestyle. She builds a business that's time rich. It's based on ease and grace, not hustle and grind, not scarcity minded, not trying to dominate anybody, none of that foolishness. I wanted just to have an elevated conversation with my mentors, teachers, and coaches who were living in a way that I wanted to live and had evidence of it. See, if somebody is working from the comfort of their home, guess what? They're working from the comfort of their home, and there's proof. If you tell me you're working from the comfort of your home and you're always on the road, you're not working. That wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm not making that wrong. I'm just saying that if you were not free, you could not teach me. Okay, that rhymes, right? Okay, I hope that answered your question, Constance. Okay, Melanie. Okay. Hey, Melanie, I don't know that I've ever seen you. And I do like Melanie Ray. That's so good. Like, that's got a nice ring to it. So, hello, coaching services are not in my budget right now. Okay. Will the Giant Experience give information to help identify the right knowledge, expertise to leverage and get started building a six-figure business? Okay. So I could answer this question, which I will. But also, if you are a client and you have attended the Giant Experience Conference, could you answer Melanie's question for me? Okay. So she wants to know, will this Giant Experience Conference help her find the right knowledge and experience to leverage? And let me just post this here so you guys can see it, not just me. All right. So now I'm going to answer your questions. And I know that my clients, if they're here, they will answer this question for you. Okay. So make sure you even go back and watch the replay on this, because they'll answer this for you. All right. Because I could tell you, but they could tell you more because they went, it was their experience. Okay. So now let me answer that. Yes. All right. So let me just dissect this conversation. Melanie Ray. Okay. I'm going to call you Melanie Ray because I like that together. I want you to understand this. Coaching services are in your budget. Okay. That's the first thing we shift. So the first thing I want us to all understand is that you are more than worth, okay, a level of investment in yourself at a high level, okay? This is not about today or tomorrow, but you are worth this. If I could work with you, like, let's say, I'm just making this up. This is not real. This is just a hypothetical thing. But let's say, would you invest $10,000 to learn how to make 100? Okay. Would you invest in yourself 10 grand, find the money for 10 grand to learn how to make 100,000? That's how I want you to think, okay? That's how you got to think. Because when I got started in my business years ago, I did not have the money. And if you listen to any of my old audios, you'll hear I asked my coach, I said, okay, like, she was charging at that time $2,500. 17 years ago was a lot of money, probably about 10 grand, 12 grand today. And I was like, wow, I don't even know what questions I'm going to ask you. I did not have the money, but I had to find the money. And I knew that if I said I didn't have the money and I leaned into that knowing, I couldn't change my life. I'm talking to all of you guys. I'm talking to Melanie, but I'm talking to you. So I had to think differently to create a different result. I found the money. And it's so funny because I look at it now and I'm like, man, that was the best investment I ever made. In 18 months, I changed my whole world. Okay. I never had to look back. You got to find the money. Okay. But to answer the second part of the question, the Giant Experience gives information. Absolutely. Over the course of, well, this is really what happens. Okay. The Giant Experience is my signature event. I hosted the event live in person. We had 30 tickets. We ended up selling 31. We were sold out. Okay. There was no more room there was no more space in the room. And the women that attended closed about $250,000 within 3 weeks. Varied results. Okay. I taught them how to package what they know at the highest level. I showed them that each and every person inside of you right now, whether it's a life skill, whether it is a soft skill like motherhood, parenting, divorce, or whether it's a hard skill, something you're doing professionally for someone else that you've been doing in your career for years and years, or maybe it's just this thing that people keep coming back to you for over and over again. And they say to you, man, I did what you said and it changed my life. I show you how to take those things and how valuable they are. And I show you step by step how to package those into high ticket offerings. A high ticket offering, as I describe it, is something that's over $2,500, Melanie Ray. I like the name, okay? And when I show you how to package it, I also show you how to position, how to market, who you are, who you be, and how you do these things differently, so that if I need what you have, that I'm looking for Melanie Ray, just like you're here right now. There's something you saw that makes you say, I want to talk to her. I got questions for her, right? So I'll show you how to do that. And then I show you how to sell in a way that's authentic. And I think that my sales script alone is worth the cost of admission, because you'll know how to close in a way that's authentic and true to you. I think that, to answer your question, yes, you get about 20 hours plus hours of amazing content up front to be able to watch, rewatch from the comfort of your home, some of my best training to get your specific questions answered around packaging your knowledge at the highest level, pricing what you're doing at the highest level, right? $2,500 or more is the only thing I count as a high ticket offering. And if in fact anybody listening to this, you are like, I like you, but I want to sell something for $150, I'm not for you. Okay. Your premium product needs to be a high ticket offering. All right. If we're going to get you free, we've got to know what is it that you do to create the results for people, package that the right way, and build your system the right way. And that's the only thing I teach. That's my expertise. Okay. I don't know how to help you sell something for $47 to 1 million people and run all around and keep trying to do a whole lot of things and podcasting and blogging and all of this craziness. I show you how to build a business with ease and grace. I really do. And I mean it, like answering it, loving it. It's the Super Bowl for me with my clients. And people come to the conference and they know what to do. And Constance came to the conference she's here right now, right? She came to the conference 8 weeks ago and just closed her first $25,000 contract. Never did that before. Okay. So just giving you an example. I think that, yeah. So I'll take great care of you. And here's the coolest part. There is no risk, because if you come to the conference, I'll post the link here. If you come to the conference and should you think I didn't get value and you do the work, do what I tell you to do, I'll give you your money back. No questions asked. Okay. So I just posted the link there for our Black Friday specials. I wish the conference is there. Okay. Jeanette is here. She says, I anticipate working mostly with women. However, there appears to be interest from men too. Do you recommend a single marketing focus or one that's more inclusive? So, I think it really comes back to you, beautiful Jeanette, okay, is because it starts with who do you want to work with, right? Like, so there is no right or wrong. Right? There's no right or wrong. Like, I prefer to work with women. I do work with men. Maybe 5% of my demographic are men, mostly on the book coaching consulting side, or if someone contracts me to help them build out their curriculum as a private client, I'll work with guys on that side. Or if a guy wants to work with me for private consulting, I'll do that, but only that. My group coaching programs are reserved primarily for women. I'm really good at it. Building that community of safety that allows women to elevate themselves. So think about, long term, what kind of community you want to have. Do you want guys and girls there, right? Based on what you're offering, does it totally make sense? And or is it off? Do you have opportunities to break off some things that you're doing that if guys do want to work with you, like in my case, they can do private consulting with me. They can buy my self-study programs for sure, or I can support them in terms of building out their curriculum and things like that. Okay. I think that answers that question, right? Okay. Okay. All right. And Kim writes, I'm here learning on the live, Mia. We'll connect with Say Savvy. Okay, perfect. I love it. I love it. I'm glad you're here learning on the live. So let's talk about what you're learning here, okay? So Kim is a new client of mine, but not new in my life. Our kids went to school together. Our son went to school together. My son went to school with her daughter. Okay, so let's just say this, that what you're learning is be yourself. Okay. The best lives, Kim, are lives where you authentically only talk about what you know about. Okay. And that's the most important thing. So sometimes I'll do topics that relate specifically to what I know how to do. And then sometimes I'll do something like this. This live Q&A is more rare because I reserve my private time, my consulting time, what I'm paid for my clients, with my clients, right? But today I wanted to do a live Q&A on Black Friday, right? My gift to my community to answer any questions on the floor. So, you're thinking about how you can leverage some of these amazing tools to be able to reach a greater audience. Facebook is an incredible tool for me, as well as Periscope. I'm linked in the Periscope here as well. I'm also streaming into one of my group, my page, my public page, and my business group, right? As well as Periscope. So I like to do, when I do live stream, hit more than one audience at a time. So that's just something that's really important. Okay. Okay. So I think that answered that for you. Talk about what you want to know about. Start 5 minutes, work your way up. Okay. Do small lives. Make sure you're lit really well. I'm using two lights. So if you like the way this is lit, I've got a ring light on the right and a ring light on the left. That's it. All right. And then other than that, that's it. My computer here. That's it. So doing lives is real simple to do. All right. Okay. Kathy writes, question, are your clients able to pay for your coaching services via installments? Yeah, sure. There are people who do qualify for that. I would say that if you even think that one of the things you want to do is to work with me, right, then what I would suggest that you do is come to the Giant Experience Conference. Come to the Giant Experience Conference. And from that conference, you will know 100%, 120% if I'm for you or not. The last event, we of the people who were qualified, okay, to move forward, we had 100% interest in women wanting to work with me, 100% certainty. From the event before that, we had 72% certainty. Okay, Gabriel. Hey, Gabriel, I don't know that you've been here before, so it's nice to virtually meet you, okay? Hi, Mia, great speech. Thank you, appreciate it. I would like to ask you how to overcome shame guilt from past experiences. It's a good one. All right, so this is what I would recommend. Have you read the book by Dr. Brené Brown, The Gift of Imperfection? Okay, so I'd start there. First, I would read that book because it's an amazing book about shame, okay? And that how shame really does impact us in tremendous ways. And more importantly, what I love about the book is how she breaks down the different types of shame that are out there. Because sometimes when we think of shame, we think of one type of shame, when in reality, there are lots of different ways that we are sometimes taught shame or we experience shame in our life and in our world, okay? The next thing that I would focus on as it relates to shame, see, because the only thing that we hear, okay, are the things that we believe, okay? All right, work with me, all right, Gabriel. Okay, so what I mean is, like if someone told me right now, and I always use this example, Mia, you got big ears. Now I'm gonna show you guys something. Like, look at this. I have very small ears. Okay, so if somebody told me right now, Mia, you know what? I don't like you. You got big ears. I'm thinking you can't be talking to me, right? Like, there's no way I'm looking at my ears again, right? Like, I mean, I have small ears. Like, I don't even have lobes, guys. Like, do you see this? Okay, so when dealing with shame is an internal game, right? Like learning how to work through what others say to us is what we say to ourselves. So I recommend one of my favorite books. My clients all know it. They can write it here right now. Is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. The highest conversation we can possibly have is here, this conversation right here. So I think that one, I honor you and I congratulate you because, yeah, sometimes we have past experiences that have defined us or we think so. When, like, I think what if your past experience, you learn how to change your script so it can refine you. The other thing is sometimes being in community with people you're on the ambition level and above really will support you, because if you're with people you're on the ambition level and below, sometimes they remind us who we're not. I don't really enjoy hanging out with people like that. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Like you ever been around people who they can't acknowledge the great in you. They can only remind you of what you did in the past, what you didn't do. Or maybe you've been around people who are so incredibly superficial that they don't want to talk about anything that's real. Hence, they don't want you to talk about what is real in your life and your world. Or maybe you've been around people who want you to dim your light, your shine, your glow, your gloss. I said all of that. Yeah, I just said all of that. Because your reflection of those things in some way makes them feel inadequate. I'm not interested in hanging out with folks like that. I love being in the company of giants. And I know, Gabriel, the bravery that it took for you to write that comment is something that serves every single person here. I decided that I deserve a life that allows me to be around people who could see the light in me. I call them candle lighters. That's the only people I want to be around, people that light my candle and I light theirs. Okay. I don't enjoy being around people who are shrink shiners. You know what I'm saying? Like they want me to shrink my shine. You know, I've worked really hard. You guys have worked really hard to get to this place where you are. Last thing you need in this world is somebody telling you who you're not. So, you know, working on that inner game, but also understanding that you deserve to be in community this coming year, like right now, like maybe today's the day that you're like, what do I need? Who fuels my soul, my spirit, right? You know, the number one thing that people ask me often or talk about all the time is the fact that when I start working with clients, they find their people for the first time. And it made me realize that so many people never find their people. I'm a people finder. I only work with giants. I told you, like, you know, look, I know what it looks like on the other side to hang out with people who believe the impossible is always impossible. And I'm not going that way. It's not what I do. It's not where I row in the water. Okay. And I'm also not this person that believes that if I just sit in a room and say positive things to myself, that my whole life is going to change. It takes work. Okay. But, you know, I know that if I'm around other people who are encouragers, that they'll model for me what it looks like. If I'm around people who are doers, right, who take things that people say is impossible and blow it out the water, I'm like, well, you must not know this person, right? So I like to be in community with people like that, giants, amazing people. And I'll tell you this, that a giant loves to be in the company of another giant. And if you're ever in the company of people who can encourage, you need to get around people who can. Okay. I hope this answers your question. Kim Lee, I'd like to speak with you as well. Awesome. And she says, I coach in the area of wellness as well. Awesome. Kathy, me, Kim, me, Kathy. Okay. I'm loving it. Okay. Constance, right. Great idea. Thank you. You're welcome. And Jackie says, absolutely. Okay. There you go. Love the red jacket, Jackie. And Kim writes, take the step, Melanie. You won't regret it. Awesome. Okay. Latanya says, okay. Thank you. She writes, hi, Latoya. I am just tuning in. This was a blessing, and I love your positive, straightforward approach. I'm in skincare and wellness industry. What can I expect from your coaching services? Let me think about this. Well, so if you can help me right now, get rid of this little blemish right here, that would be perfect. A spider bit me right here. Okay. I was trying to do this concealer cover up today, but I didn't do a good job. All right. But anyway, I digress. All right. So, so what you can expect is what you put in. Okay. So now I think that, and I never hype people, because I think if you do, then when they get to know you, they know who you really are and what you do that for. Okay. So this is how I experience myself. And I think my clients here can definitely tell you, if this was their experience, that I always do what I say I'm going to do, but I actually do more. Okay. And why do I do it? All right. I love to over deliver, but I have to be properly compensated for that which I give, because I know it's going to change your life. I'm not giving you junk, right? So I give my clients high-level services. I'm properly compensated because I know I'm going to change your life. Okay, this is my only goal, and I over deliver. So, but what can you expect from my services is that I'm an over deliverer, that I do what I say, that you would be in community with people who are your ambition level and above, that will respect you, okay, as a professional, that will have They'll run with you, okay? And some of them will run ahead of you, which is good, right? Because then you get to see what it looks like. Like imagine if you are in community with people who are speaking a different language, Latoya, right? That they're talking about stuff you never talked about before, okay? And you might feel sometimes when we're in community with people who do big things, we feel like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, but you know what? They grow your comprehension by 30% being around people that stretch you. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about stretch and judge you because we all have dealt with that and nobody wants that. I'm talking about being around people who are doing things, selling in ways you haven't sold before, talking about packaging their knowledge in ways unimaginable. That what if you didn't understand what a licensing deal is related to what you do in skincare and wellness? And as a result of being on one of our calls and you get to hear, I was thinking one of my clients, Terry, recently was on there talking about what she was doing in her business, and that for the very first time she learned about how to do licensing with her content, and now she's looking at a multi six-figure deal which is a 3-year deal, but it's multi six figures each year, and all from just packaging her knowledge. What if you were on a call with somebody like that? Like, what a difference that could make for you, because maybe sometimes people ask questions that you don't know to ask. Now, I'm answering your question here, right? What can you expect from my services? I think that sometimes it's not just what I'm teaching. I think it's the level of association. I think the other thing that you can expect is that I'll never teach you something I haven't done. And I'll never show you how to do anything that I can't prove to you have done, because that is what's broken, in my opinion, in the industry. People telling you they can help you write books. They haven't written a book. They're telling you they can help you be a bestseller. They've never been a bestseller. They're telling you they can help you hit 6 figures in a month. They never did that. They're telling you they can help you get a television, get you on television. They themselves have not been on television. They are telling you they can help you do a corporate deal. They have never done this themselves. Okay. And so that's one of the commitments that I make, and I back it up. I take this very seriously. I think my clients might say, I mean, it's true. Like anything that I teach you, I've done. One of my clients who's here, Jackie, said one time, she said, how did she say this? She said, Mia, is there a book of answers? And I said, Jackie, what is it? What are you talking about? She's like, it's like whatever somebody's asking, you always know the answer. I know the answer because I only teach on what I know how to do. And I know how to do these things really well. And that's the only thing I'm talking about. So I think that answered your question. Okay, Constance writes, today's the live Q&A, and I will stay on as long as you guys have questions. And I have nothing else to do but to be here. I'm really excited to be here today. So if you have a question, gather your question and I'll answer it. If you want to know about a specific service or product that I would recommend for you, just ask, okay? I did post here also, and I'll post again, my Black Friday specials. We've sold out of one already, and there's limited availability in one other. So if you're interested, take action, all right? No pressure, all right? So Constance writes, yes, for sure. I had to scrape up the money, hear me, to pay for the conference. She's talking about the John Experience Conference. However, I'm going to read this probably twice. It was well worth my investment. I just closed a $24,000 deal for a 90-day contract before the conference. I was afraid and lacked the knowledge. Okay, I'm just going to read that back slowly. Slowly read with me, okay? Yes, we could all say it aloud, okay? For sure, I had to scrape the money to pay for the conference. However, it was well worth my investment. She had to scrape the money, okay? It's not about, you got to find the money. Look, you got to find the money to find the money, okay? However, it was well worth my investment. I just closed $24,000 deal for a 90-day contract. 8 weeks later, after attending the conference, by the way. That's not there, but that's what happened. Before the conference, I was afraid, and it lacked, and she lacked knowledge, okay? But guess what? Once you know what I know, you can do what I do. How about that? And it doesn't take long. But you're not going to find it you're not going to find it just sitting home talking about you don't have the money. Go find it. You guys got to do that. And Jackie writes, absolutely, Melanie Ray. This program will change your life. Jackie, I appreciate you. Okay. It's a live Q&A. You can post whatever questions you have here and I'll answer them. And Deb Porter writes, I have attended the Giant Experience in person and virtually and have worked with Mia for 2 years. You have. Okay, before working with Mia, I had no idea how my skills and systems as a mom could create a lifestyle brand, allowing me to be on TV regularly as well as working with brands. This event is all inclusive and leaves nothing out, which allows you to save time and money trying to piece together what you need. It's all here. You know what? I was thinking that that would be a great hashtag. It's all here. Okay, oh, it's allhere.com, right? So I love that comment, and thank you, Deb, who is amazing media professional, who has consistently done television as a media expert. There are a lot of comments and that have consistently done, she's consistently done television. And, how cool is it? When we started working together, she didn't even know that she was going to do TV. See, you don't even know what the next step looks like. Let's just come and play together. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what this looks like. To me, that's what makes this all so much fun. Everybody does something different. I get to see you as you can be. We start talking about what it can look like. I hold you accountable to do the stuff you want to do that you're scared to do, that you go and talk to yourself and say things like, I'm stuck, when you're not stuck. You know what I mean? You're exploring this next thing. You need some accountability. You need some step-by-step processes, best practices of what works, how to launch big, what to read so you can step into being that person that can honor all those things you want. Now, here's the thing. There is a layer of money around you can't see. Now, I'll say it again. For most people, there is a layer of money around us that we cannot see. And Jeanette says, I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. So B, awesome, writes, the experience of shame, a feeling of being unworthy, bad, or wrong can be extremely uncomfortable. It's true. It's true. And she says, and shame has the potential to change the way we see ourselves. It distorts us, right? Like shame can be a distortion. It's an illusion. An illusion isn't real. And that's why the inner practice of growing our talk is so important. Be awesome. I love your comments on this. Guilt is usually understood to involve negative feelings about an act one has committed. Perhaps, or sometimes it's not feeling that what we know how to do, right? It's not feeling like what we know how to do, that there's a place for us, right? There are many different reasons why we feel guilt and inadequacies. Sometimes it could be just the way we were brought up. Sometimes it can just be the association that we have or that we don't have. Sometimes it could be the tools in our toolbox. But I can tell you this, if we do the work, we can overcome it. We can build that muscle. And I think every person here has dealt with shame on some level. And she says, while embarrassment deals with societal reactions, perhaps. I don't know that I define it that way, but I receive what you're saying. Okay. And Jeanette says, I attended, thank you, the Giant virtual experience in November. Get ready to go beyond just getting motivated or being inspired. You know what? I think that is such a powerful thing that you wrote. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad you came today. She attended. She says, get ready to go beyond just getting motivated and being inspired. Because you know what? Aren't we over that? Aren't you over like being at a conference and like pulling the noisemaker and like shaking it? Like, what does that do for you? Or like a dance break and like, you know what I mean? And moving and grooving. Like, how's that changing your life really? Okay. Like time, we have to respect time. And I respect your time enough at the experience to teach you from day one. Okay. The Giant community is unique and simply awesome. 100% worth the time and investment. I just love this. Thank you. I appreciate you writing that here. And Crystal Granger says, these are very timely and necessary reminders. Thank you. I appreciate that, right? Melanie writes, I just registered for the conference. Woo! Me and we spoke about your coaching services last week. I'll see you at the conference. Thanks, everyone. Awesome. I am so excited that you made that decision. I'll take amazing care of you. And you have my promise that you attend, you do the work, you look at all the content, you fill out your workbook, and you feel like at the end of the week, like, I didn't get anything, I'll give you money back. And I will. That's it. Because I don't want your money. You know what I want? Anybody want to know why in the world am I even allowing people to come to this conference for $1,000? I'm going to tell you why. And I'm 100% transparent about it, because I want to work with you long term. And I can tell you that once you come to my conference for a week, you'll know if you want to work with me for a year. And the deal is that you will. Okay. That's not me saying it. It's just I told you the numbers. Like if you come to the conference, you're going to know for sure that this is real. Okay. And you're going to know it's something different than you've seen before online. You know, I'm not a big hype person, because at the end of the day, I got to show you something that's real. I don't need to pretend anything. It is what it is, right? If you go to the testimonial page for the Giant Experience alone, okay, if you go to the testimonial page, there is evidence. Just read that for yourself and decide if that's something psychologically you can step into. Okay, you don't need me telling you I create results. Look at it. Anybody creating results should be able to prove it. Melanie, we're in this thing. I'm excited, right? Okay, so I'm excited. Let's see. Okay, WPC guy says, hi, Mom. It's been quite a while since our Meerkat days. I trust that you have been okay. Okay, I am okay. I'm good. And it's good to see you on Periscope. Okay, awesome. Okay. And Melanie, congratulations you, Connie. Congrats on your $24,000 deal. Erica writes, hi, Erica. Is the conference only for those who aspire to be coaches or consultants? Well, tell me what you do. So the conference is most for someone who wants to take what they know how to do, and they want to learn how to take what they know how to do and package it into a high ticket offering. It is for you if you sell a service of some sort and you need support with knowing how to market it in a different way, how to sell it at the highest level, how to attract high-end investors. Okay, so it's for you, right? Mostly, if those are the things that are of interest to you. If you are interested in understanding step by step what to say in a sales process, it's for you if you want to do coaching, consulting, training, any kind of online or offline service that you're offering, and you're a speaker, you're an author, and you want to understand how to take what you're doing and sell it differently in an elevated way. It's for you, okay? But it's not for anyone who wants to sell things, a course only. Hear me, listen, for low ticket. If you want to sell things for under $2,500 a client, I'm not for you, because everything that I teach you is how to elevate what you're doing to get in front of a market because of the results that you create. And most of us create results for people that we never even think about or know about. And one of the things I'm really great at is helping you understand how to take that unconscious competence you have and the different ways that you can take that to structure it to add greater value to what you're already doing. If you're already a coach or consultant, or let's say you're an attorney, or you're a physician of sorts, or you are you could do any kind of thing, and you're high fees, but you low time, you're trading time for dollars. It's for you, okay? I'm going to show you some ways. A lot of my clients are medical professionals. I show you ways how to take what you're doing and do it differently. A lot of my clients are executives, okay? They have an idea what they want to do in their next life, right? But now I show them how to take what they're doing and package it in a different way. Some of my clients have had pain, they've had struggle, and they have come out of something and they have a knowing because they changed their life, and they want to write books, and they want to create a movement. They want to, support other people with their services. It's for you. Maybe you want to do TV, you're a brand, but you're not making any money. You're like running this podcast, running these blogs all over the place. You're doing all these things. You're living all day, right? And you don't have the ability to monetize what you're doing. Your intellect, it's for you. Okay. So there are many different people who can benefit from the event. But the most important thing is, if you have no desire to sell high ticket, it's not for you. And if what you know does not create results for others, then I'm not for you. Okay, then this is not, because everybody that I work with, they have the ability to create a result for someone else. And they, like, most often have been doing it informally and some professionally, obviously. And they now want to figure out how to turn that into a business and a business system, their own proprietary methods. Okay. And then Savvy says, she writes, Erica, and do you only sell to individuals that can afford the package we coach, or is to organizations? Okay. I think I understand what you are saying here. Say Savvy. Okay. Okay. And that is that, do you sell to individuals that can afford the package we coach, or is to organizations? So my clients actually sell to both. They sell to coaches, consultants, trainers, individuals that need their services. They also sell to organizations. I teach them how to sell. Many of them, for the very first time after learning my systems, they sell and close big deals with organizations and corporations. So it all depends. I teach you all of those things. I've done all of them. I teach you, if you want to do done for you services, I show you how to do it, but how to do it at a high level. I teach you how to package your knowledge one to many to sell, to build a profitable coaching consulting company. Okay. Not just a business. I show you how you're more than just a course, and how not to undervalue what you're doing, your background, your 20, 30 years of experience, but putting it in some low ticket offer when you could really create something that's amazing that can change the lives of others. Okay. I think I answered that question. 1 second. You guys keep the questions. Oh, this is a good one. Erica writes, Mia, how does a wife break the codependent mindset? Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, let me just tell you that everything that I'm sharing is just based on my opinion. Okay. And so I've been married this December 29th of this year, 25 years. Okay. And to my husband, and actually we met I'm really bad with these things, guys. 4th of July. We met the 4th of July 25 years ago. And we started dating. I think we went on our first date a couple of days later. My husband proposed in November, and we got married in December the same year. So we got married 6 weeks after we met. 6 weeks after he asked me. And he said we could get married today. And I told him we cannot get married today. I have plans. Okay. And so, but we can get married in 6 weeks. And we got married on December 29th. I know a little something about this thing called marriage. Okay. And for those of you who are just checking, my son is 22. So 3 years later, we started our family. Not that it matters, but just in case someone pulled out a calculator. Okay. So, okay. Here's the thing. It's different for all of us. It's the process. What I see sometimes, women that are codependent, it happens because sometimes of the models that we've had in our life, right? Have told us that in order for us to say yes to ourselves, that it's like not respectful to know what you need. Okay. But in my journey of coaching moms, right? And realizing that, like, if you don't know what you need, how do you inform the process? Like, think of it this way. Imagine your husband trying to buy you the perfect gift, but because you feel that he knows better what you need than you do, you don't inform the process. So you keep getting these fuzzy slippers when you don't even like fuzzy slippers. Okay. What I've learned over the years is that my husband is able to not only meet my needs, but exceed them. Okay. Is because I'm able to communicate them and inform the process. So the first answer is beginning to understanding that you getting to know yourself the best is what allows you to then inform the process for those who love you. So when I'm able to say, babe, during the weekday, it would be great if you could help me cook. And my husband's like, but I don't cook, right? Like, my husband didn't cook for like years. Like decades. Okay. And I was like, it would be nice, he was like, I don't cook. I said, well, what would it take for you to cook? Because that would be nice. And he was like, I need some recipes. I need some pictures or something like that, And so that was like, okay, I got you. So I found Home Chef and then Sunbasket, and they got nice pictures. I got him a nice knife set, and now he cooks beautiful meals and he can help in that way. See, half the battle was for me. That started with me realizing what I needed. I needed my husband to be my partner. And I needed to help him learn how to help me. But I had to first understand what I needed the most to get it. That's the first answer. So it starts with us first. It's a self-care question. This question is sometimes not knowing what we need. We can't inform the process. When we don't inform the process and we're not strong, we don't get to add value in the way that we could. I always say that the most selfish thing ever is not to give your family all of you because you don't know all of you. Right? That's where a lot of us come from. Then the second piece comes from, like, imagine I work 40 hours a week and you work 40 hours a week. And that's whether I work in the home or out the home, doesn't matter. Because if I work in the home, I'm working like 90 hours a week. Okay, let's be clear. And imagine that I devalue my work because I think that in order for me to say yes, if I'm working, that I need to ask permission instead of having a statement. Like, babe, this is what I need. I'll give you an example, and I've used this often. Imagine if I've used personal trainers a lot over the years, right? And imagine if I said, babe, do you think I need a personal trainer, to my husband? The first thing my husband's going to say to me is like, do you think you need a personal trainer? Now, if I think I need a personal trainer and I go to my husband and I say, babe, I found this trainer. I know he's the answer. Okay. I know that his sister, I met him. I'm committed. I'm ready to do my part. That part. I'm ready to do my part. Okay. Not like pay for a trainer, not go and be trained or do the exercises or, eat cake when I'm done. Okay. But I'm ready to do my part and I need your support for me to be my best self. That's a different conversation than, babe, do you think I found this coach? This is what people do, right? I found this coach and, do you think it'd be okay? I know things are tight, babe. I'm telling my husband, you're going to get all the benefits of this personal training here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get all the benefits because it's true. Whatever we do for ourselves, we give to our family. But sometimes guys don't want to support us. I'm being honest about this because of what it looked like in the past. Because you said you were going to do something you did not do. Okay. You said you paid for something and you did not show up. You did not show up. Okay. You signed up for Taebo. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I bought those Billy Blank videos and watched Billy Blank from the couch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's what coaching looks like. Some people invest in things and they're on the couch. They don't do it. And so, see, your partner is like looking at that, but you can break that cycle too by saying, I'm not the sum of the things I didn't do. I've grown from what I didn't do. And I need your support. It means everything to me. Now, I want your support. Okay. And I 100% want your support. And I know I'm going to show up differently in this way. I'm not asking you permission. I'm asking for you to partner with me. Right. And this is what I need. Right. And then you guys begin to have a conversation around that. And it's different for all of us. I'm not talking about go to bat for your, with your husband about finances, but I think a lot of women use money as the reason they can't move forward when it is not about the money. It's about how you showed up with the money. Okay. You're asking so somebody can tell you no, so you don't have to show up. And you built this whole life. Okay. Now my husband came to my retreat. I hope this is helping somebody. My husband came to my retreat a couple years ago, about 3-4 years ago. And we interviewed him. My audience, the people in the audience asked him, like, how was it that you were able to support Mia? And because I've invested a lot of money in coaching. And he said, okay, because she does the stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he says, in fact, I'm glad she didn't listen to me. because he's never really invested at a high level a lot with a coach. We had a real estate coach together years ago to learn how we invested 15 grand long time ago, 25 years ago. But he never really invested in personal development coaches. I'm like all into all of that. And over the years, I've been able to stand in the gap for my family in tremendous ways because I got better. Okay. So I fight for my family like that. My personal investment in myself is not something Pat and I are negotiating on. Like, how am I going to negotiate with you about me being better? Like, that ain't working, buddy. We didn't get married for that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sign up for that. Okay. We're all different, but I think that you get to decide what that looks like. I know a lot of people back all of that up with the I'm not going to go religious on anybody. Faith, we say that it means that we're not being submissive if we say what we want, all these things. Okay. All right. I'm not going there. Okay. But I'm going to tell you this. This is my truth. If I had not invested in myself, me, if I hadn't taken a stand for myself, me, okay, when my husband needed me most, I couldn't have taken a stand for him. Okay. Now, that's the kind of faith I have in me. Okay. I'm going to show up for my family in that way. All right. And I'm looking for women that they find a way. Okay. You find a way. Maybe it means that you say, babe, I'm going to put up 500. You know what I'm saying? You put up 500. I'm making this up, right? I promise you that if I don't do it this time, I'm going to pay you double your money back. But I need your support. It's different now. And you show up differently. Okay. Okay. Madeira writes, I hope that answers your question, Erica. You guys have got some great questions today. For those of you just joining, I'm Mia Redrick, and I'm doing a live Q&A today. And I am committed to I'll answer anything. Okay. I'll answer anything that you have here on the floor. I'm excited to do so. And if I can support you in some way, some of you guys have been wondering, like, how could we work together, right? And now is a great opportunity to ask me about my programs or about my coaching or some specific question you have about something you want to do. And I'm happy to answer it. Just write the questions below and I will answer them, okay? Madeira writes, I've also had negative, bad feelings about being a salesperson. How can I adjust this mindset? You know what? It's going to be interesting. Because now you just signed up for the Giant Experience conference a couple days ago. So now you're going to learn my sales script and you will not say that. I can look, if there's anything that I know you'll take to the bank is learning how to sell in a way that's natural. And it's what I know how to do. And it's the reason that my clients know how to close. I mean, I have clients who have never closed anything before they use the sales script. It's like magic. I'm not hyping you about it. I got proof around it and you'll see it. And you'll hear from them. They'll share it with you over the course of the week. You will see plenty of proof, hear from their lips what they've done in applying my sales script, that step by step, because it works. The problem with selling, the negative bad feelings, is because we know what it's like to be around people that try to sell us stuff. And it's disgusting, right? Like nobody wants to be sold like the car salesman guy, right? Or the vacuum cleaner kind of people, or, nobody wants that. And one of the things that I teach is you'll learn quickly that's different is that I actually don't have to sell anything, nothing. Like all my clients come to me, every single one. Like literally. So the way that I will teach you to sell is that when you understand how to market your business properly, your clients come to you and they're properly qualified and they choose you because you are you. So this is why, you don't have to hype anything to offer anything because it's unnecessary. People will choose you. And if you know how to structure your marketing the way that I teach you step by step, they will come directly to you wanting to work with you because you are you. So I say, knowing how to position yourself, you make competition irrelevant. And I want to talk about that for a minute. Because a lot of times, and I know I got some competitors out here today, and they're probably right here on this live. And it's good to see you guys. But this is my philosophy, okay? You're watching me, I'm going to teach you. That competition becomes irrelevant when you do what you say. Got it? All right. So when the people think that they're competing with a small subset of clients. There are people who believe that they are fighting for the same group of people. I'm not fighting for the same group of people. I could care less. Okay. The reality is that people choose me because of the results that my transformation provides. And my clients tell that story because it's real for them. So they're not buying me because of a course, because of a pretty dress, because of a great speech, or because of my own success. My clients say yes, and your clients will say yes to you, Madeira, because I am able to transfer what I did for me to them. And there's evidence of it. Okay? Period. And you want to shut the competition down, that whole conversation, which is all based in scarcity anyway, okay? Then do what you say. Okay. You only build what you do because it creates results for people. That's why, if you notice earlier, somebody asked me about the conference, who was it for? I said, it's only for people to create results for others. Because if you don't create results for others and you just build courses to sell information, right? Then, excuse me, like, I'm not for you, because it's all about creating value for others with our gifts, serving right in a way that really creates tremendous results. If you do that, selling becomes the easiest thing ever. Okay. The easiest thing ever. Right. So, okay. WPC guy, I don't even know who Linda is. Okay. Jackie says, pull out the calculator, right? Like, oh, look. You like that, right, Jackie? Well, I do like to pull out the calculator because I think sometimes people need to, but I like pulling out the calculator for many reasons, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not what you say it is, it's what it actually is, right? So I just pull out the calculator, like 25 minus 22, my son's age, right, is what it is. All right. Okay. Erica writes, okay. Oftentimes, that codependent mindset is taught in religious circles. They teach it from a form of a respected marriage. I'm not having a religion conversation because that's not a conversation that that I can win, or I'm not looking to do that. But what I am talking about here is what I do, okay, in my own marriage that has worked really well, because we have been married and committed for 25 years. Now, have we gotten on each other's nerves? Yes. Okay. Can my husband find the mayonnaise or the ketchup or the mustard, which we were talking about this morning? No. Okay. Does my husband know what's in the pantry? No, he doesn't. I do not understand it. Okay. But what I have learned over the years is that it is not my job to go find those things. Okay. It is simply my job to just repeat back what he just said. There is no ketchup. Okay. Right. Okay. So, yeah. So that to me is even codependency. Like, you can't find this, I go find this. You can't do what, like, are we doing this? Why are we all doing this? Okay. I'm not doing it. Okay. But I ask my husband to support me. I don't ask for permission to move forward. I don't think you should even need to be codependent on a job. Like, you guys look at all these things that have been happening. This year is a great example. If there's ever been a time to step out for yourself, this is the year. This is the breakout. This has been the sign, the clue, the miracle. You've been looking for a miracle. COVID's called miracle. Okay. It's been a gift for many. Just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. Think about it. Okay. All right. So, I don't think we are honest enough about why people don't move forward. I love this question. Being codependent on my job, in a hot second, my job was going to transfer me to Sioux Falls. Is it South Dakota or North Dakota? And I was like, what might I do there? Okay. So what kind of life? No. The answer is absolutely no. I'm never going to put myself in a position where I'm going to go, what I'm going to be doing is going to be dependent on anybody else. Here's the thing. I don't even want to ask if I want to get my kids from school, if I can get a day off and I give you 70 hours a week. I want to see every game. That was me. Hashtag, I want to see every game. Freedom is the thing that I wanted more than anything. And the one thing that nobody else could get me, like my husband couldn't get me free, I had to get me free. And when you taste it like that, you wake up in the morning and you're like, I have got to be free. There's not a person you will not call. There's not a change you will not make inside of yourself. There's not a book you won't read. There's not an investment that you will not make. So for those of you who keep saying, I need to find the money, I don't have it, or whatever, you have got to change that mindset. Because I was like, look, I had to figure that part out. I had to get myself free. Pat could not get me free. I had to get me free. Okay. Erica says, Mia, it's true. I was going to say that. That's the way it's taught, right? I have heard it taught. Yeah. Okay. All right. Madera says, thank you. Okay. Today's a live Q&A. If you're here, I'll answer the questions that are on the floor. And Deb writes, thanks, Deb. I almost missed your comment. Tell it, Mia. You know I'm going to tell it. You know, I have to just be honest. And I wanted to make sure that you guys are in my community, that I am available to answer any of your questions today. So are there any other questions for me? Anything that you wondered that I have not ever answered, that maybe it might just be just some general things, right? Like that you have for me, right? Like, are there questions that you've had for me that I have not answered in general? Maybe it could be something about how I got started, or how I figured out what I wanted to do, or what's been the most impactful thing that I've done, you know, in running my company for the last 17 years or something like that. Because I think sometimes those are questions too, if you're here in the community, that you've likely had, that you know, over the years you haven't had an opportunity to answer. For those of you who are here for the live Q&A, I'm so excited because we had such good questions. Okay, Bessie writes, great question. Love that picture and the purple dress, by the way. How did you get coaching clients? So, okay, I'm gonna talk about when I first got started, and then when I learned to do what I needed to do. Okay, so when I first got started, Bessie, I wasn't even really sure how to get coaching clients. See, because there was so much noise out there in the marketplace, okay, about getting clients. And a lot of times when people are saying do all these hard things like blog, like to get clients, no, okay, or speak. That was like a real big thing back in 17 years ago is when I got started. Like people say, well, if you do speaking events, you know, that's where your clients are going to come. And I was like, but if I do speaking events and I go all around, doesn't that mean that I don't have time freedom? Because I don't want to generate my income by being away from my home. I'm like, I want to be here in my home office. Okay, you know, coaching my clients, you know, and then I want to go and spend time with my family 2 minutes later and be able to play a game with them, like Monopoly or something like that, right? It takes hours to do that. I can't do that if I'm flying all around. So the first thing I had to do when I wanted to get coaching clients, I had to get rid of some of these models that were broken. Blogging to get clients, podcasting to get clients. What was it? Blogging. I don't even know any clients came from blogging or podcasting. Speaking to get clients. Or speaking at events that were local that were in front of the wrong audience. I had to overcome like selling low ticket products, right? Trying to give away something for $40, thinking I'm going to find someone that values what I'm doing. I'm being honest with you. Okay. I had to like get out of my mind any of these things that people tell you to do. Start low, you know, sell something give away something for free. And then people will see your value. And those people who don't want to pay any money for anything are going to be the people who are going to invest in your services. Not true. Okay. Like they don't come. Okay. You know, they're like, build it and then we'll come. I did it. Okay. If you build a product and you sell something, give them something give people who want to work with you, you think, they don't want to pay any money, okay, for anything, and you give them something that doesn't create a result for them, well, they're definitely not going to work with you because they don't get to see your best work. Number two, if you attract people who don't believe in investing, how do those people take a journey with you? They won't. Okay. Okay. Do you need a lot of clients to hit your goal of, tell me how much you want to make in a year, Bessie? Okay. Do you need a lot of clients to hit your goal, Bessie? Like, tell me how much you want to hit. What's your annual revenue goal? Okay. So let's say the annual revenue goal for you, Bessie, in this beautiful purple dress, $250,000 at a minimum, or $500,000. How many clients do you really need? Okay. I just had this conversation with one of my clients, Audra, just last week on the coaching call. So Audra just closed a $50,000 contract the other day, and someone has a client that's re-up for, or who's up for negotiation for re-upping for another client pretty close to 50,000. It's like 48,000. And then she closed another like $19,000 or something like that. I said, how many clients do we need? Like maybe you don't need that many clients. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you just need 10. So what if instead of you selling like a whole lot of little things, Bessie got you covered, okay? So let's say if you were selling something for 10 grand and you knew how to sell something for 10 grand, Bessie, you only need 15 to 20 clients. Now the work isn't the 150 grand. The work is knowing how to package what you're doing, Bessie, to match this beautiful lifestyle pick that I see here. Okay, so that you are delivering something that's so freaking valuable that your clients want to stay with you year after year. See, it's not always about a whole lot of people. Like, could you service 20 people? Could you give them your heart out versus 2,000 people getting on your nerves, paying $97 a product? Okay, they're going to be high maintenance. They're not investors. They don't know how to manage their expectations. They're not used to implementing. You're probably not even going to get any testimonials. If you work with the right people and you knew how to take that background you have, that great background, experience, expertise, package it into a high ticket offering. And maybe you're selling something. Maybe you're like Audrey, you sell $50,000 things. You only need 4 clients. If you have 4 clients, could you give them everything you've got? Would they think it was an amazing service? Yes. So the work really is knowing how to put those packages together at the highest level. The work is knowing how to have a strategic up-level conversation that's elevated so you can get in front of your ideal client. The work is understanding how to take your background, your experience, your expertise, and position it in your marketing so that your ideal clients don't want to choose anybody else, not for any other reason. They need you. They know they need you because of everything you come with. That's why I told you, it doesn't matter what anybody else has done. I could care less. If somebody said to me, Mia, I want to work with you, I want to work with this other person, and this other person is charging, making this up, this other person is charging $1, and you're charging $10, okay? And they said they can do the same thing. My answer to them would simply be, if they can create the results that I create for $1, that's the best deal ever. See, people don't pay me based on the price, and they don't pay you, Bessie, based on the price. They pay me based on the results I deliver, okay? So the only thing I'm committed to are the results that I can back up, okay? So I'm not going to tell you that, 1 out of 10 of my clients do something I can't prove, okay? If I tell you that they do it, I'm going to show you that they did it, okay? Because that's really important. And you knowing how to package what you do into a high ticket offering is the way. It is the one thing that gets in the way of anybody here being able to be where they want to be. Okay. I told you already that if you know what I know, you can do what I do. All right. Kim writes, thank you, Kim. She says, thanks for the conversation and solid teaching on this live, Mia. The Giant Experience Conference was one of the best gifts. I've given myself such a worthwhile investment in me. The subsequent coaching and tools are rich in content and a continual motivator and pacer for consistent progress. Isn't it awesome? And the women in our community are amazing. Like, where will we ever find people like this? Okay. I have an appetite for giants. I only track people who want to do the work, high integrity people who are action takers, who want to change their life by doing something. Okay. Bessie, she writes, that makes total sense. I kind of gave you like an accent like that. That makes total sense. And that's what we're talking about tonight. I wanted to do a live Q&A because I know that those are the kind of questions. It's such a good question, right? Like, is it really possible for me to hit 6 figures with what I know, right? Is it possible for me to do this without all the things that I've been told? Blogging, podcasting, killing myself on lives, like freely, okay? You know what I'm saying? Running all over the place, airport after airport. First of all, in this time, that model is broken. We can see, okay? It'll come back, all right? But even pre-COVID, all right, I only did, I do 1 signature event a year. That's always in November. And I would meet with my mastermind clients and my certification clients. So I did 5 events a year, but with my clients, right? Not like running all around. And they all came to Baltimore, and it was just amazing. Okay. Um, I've always built my business from the comfort of my home. All of my clients come to me. That's the model. That's what I teach. I'm just not interested in anything else. Now, if I choose I want to go on the road, I can. But I don't think there's anything glamorous about me being on the road, like working. What's glamorous about being on the road is me choosing powerfully where I want to go. And I get to be where I want to be. I built a life I wanted to come home to, not a life that I want to escape. I was working in corporate America and doing what many people would love to do, making a good income. However, what I wanted to do was figure out how could I leverage my background, my talents, and my skills and go to work for myself. And I knew I was good enough because I was already doing these things for others, right? In education, in corporate America. And I was like, I got to figure out I'm going to get this girl free. And that's what I committed to working on. I worked the plan. I invested in a coach. When I made the decision, I worked it. One of the things that you guys need to know about me is I've had the same coach for the last 17 years. Like fact, I've worked with the exact same coach. Like, so you want to talk about stability in a relationship, someone watching you grow, develop. You knew me when I didn't have a product, a clue, none of these things. Okay. I was never a coach hopper. I'm talking to you guys. So I want to teach you because a lot of you guys go from one class to the next class, next class. I was not that. I wasn't a coach hopper. I didn't like change the coach because what she was saying, I didn't like it anymore because I didn't want to do it. I was like, I better grow to be the person that can do this. She has evidence that what she's doing, I want to do. And she introduced me to another coach who I didn't even like, by the way. Didn't like his personality. Was not a fit for me, I thought. But my coach recommended me to work with him. I've since fell in love in a tremendous way in terms of his systems. It really supported me. And you don't even have to like somebody to learn from them. And that's called maturity. Like this idea, like, okay, you're going to just sabotage yourself because you don't like something that somebody does. I don't like her hair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't like her nose. I don't like her ears. So what? Get over yourself. Okay. Sometimes, we are afraid of bright light. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We are, and we talk ourselves into these things and it gets in the way of us really having the giant, magnificent life that we absolutely deserve. And I always like to be honest about it because, look, I mean, my coach recommended for me to work with her coach, and I didn't even like his style when I met him, and I love his style. Okay, love, and it's funny, but I had to have the maturity and the wisdom to move beyond my ego. Mm-hmm. That's just real. Maybe you do too. I had to move beyond my ego. Who cares what I like? Okay. I'm on a mission to help other people. Am I going to allow what I like and what I don't like to get in the way of the mission that I have? No, I'm going to overcome myself. I got to read some more, do some work. Okay. I'm preaching, teaching right there. Right. That was good. But I always like to explain that because I think a lot of times, that's one of the things that gets in the way in terms of investing in a coach. I think another thing that gets in the way in terms of making the wrong decisions is that a lot of times people make investments in personalities. So we invest in someone doing something that we admire, but we may or may not ever be able to do it the way they do it. Let me explain this. Michael Jackson can moonwalk, right? Michael Jackson's moonwalk was like the best. So even if Michael Jackson, when he was alive, taught me personally how to moonwalk, even if Michael worked with me for a whole year and teach me how to moonwalk, would I be able to moonwalk better? Yes. But would I ever look like Michael? No. Why do I say that? I say it, okay, because Michael had talent, okay? He had talent, and talent is not transferable, but technique is. And that's one of the things that I think is important when you choose your coaches and your teachers, that sometimes we choose people because we admire what they do. But I've always chose people who have techniques that are transferable. And so when you learn a technique, a proven process that works, you can do that. and you'll get the same results, if not greater. I hope greater, because I think a great mentor will support you in creating greater results. If there are any questions for me, post them here. Happy to answer them. I told you guys today I was here for you. I'm doing a live Q&A to answer any questions that are on the floor. And we've had some great ones today. And I appreciate being able to support you, each of you, in this way. I told you I'd take my time, which I have. Have you gotten value? If you are here and you gotten value, I'd love, I know that you guys have, though, gotten value as a result of being here. And I assure you on that. Okay. You know what, Jackie, what we going to do with you? Okay. And you know that red just pops right off the page. Like, do you see her? Okay. Amazing coach she is. Yes. So much value as always. Thank you. I appreciate you. And Bessie writes, I received value. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions on the floor? Anything else I can answer for you guys today? I know that everybody's going to be indulging in leftovers. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I did do that is just an aside. One of my clients is a pastry chef. Amazing, by the way. You guys, I actually need to give you her information. Her name is Sahar, Threats. And I did this pastry, she did a pastry class, and you bought her cakes and pies, right? And I bought her course and used her recipes to make an apple pie and sweet potato pie. Yum, yum, yum. Like, honestly, I love to cook. I'm pretty good at it. Unbelievable. Okay. Like, unbelievable. The crust alone on the pies was amazing. I surprised myself. Really amazing. Outstanding. Family just flipped out like it's the best thing ever. Hey there, Rashonda. Rashonda, any questions? She's going to do that again, but I have to, the crust is everything. You know what I'm saying? So it was so good. Such a delight to be able to share her gift with my family. And this is I think her products are so for you if you do cook already, but I think if you don't know how to cook it, or if you're just trying to do something and your family's like, really? You like, what were you doing? You're like, I just woke up like this. I just woke up like this. Okay. But you just use her recipe. You know what I'm talking about. Just keep it between you and her. All right. So today, Rashonda, I'm doing a live Q&A. And I told my community via email today in here that we were going to take our time and I was going to answer every question that was on the floor. So if there are any questions, I will take them. If they're not, then I'm going to sign off. Madeira writes here, thank you. I've gone live twice since I saw your video, and that alone is more live video than I did all last year. No, I love it, right? Madeira, this is a good thing, okay? And it is absolutely amazing. Rashonda writes, wow, that's amazing, right? And it is amazing. It's amazing to stand in your value. It's amazing to understand that you've got a message and it's an easy way to reach your audience without hustle and grind, and that you can absolutely enjoy. And I hope that just hearing a few testimonials that you were able to hear, and there are tons on that page. So if you just go to follow the link that's here, you'll be able to see for yourself and the information for the Giant Experience Conference. I'll post it again here. You'll be able to, you can take a screenshot, or you can just simply click on the link here in the feed. You'll be able to see for yourself what people say. And I encourage you to do that, because I think a lot of what has happened is we've had people who've made promises to give us great and amazing things, but they haven't. They've been cheap. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do have a master plan, and I know that when I serve my audience, that and I over deliver to them, because I want you to have a full solution. And I know the importance of you not only working with me in this moment at the experience or some other way, right, in coaching relationship, but my goal is to make it very clear that all I care about are the results that you create, like literally. Because when my clients create results, they tell the full story. They tell it in a way that I can never tell myself. So that's really important to me. And I'm not interested in giving you part of what you need when I know what you need, because I've built out a business that has created amazing success, and I have the ability to transfer that to you by just pulling back the layers and showing it to you. So why would I not show it to you, or why would I upcharge you for something that you need in order for you to create amazing success? And don't we and aren't we better as a community because people in our community win? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I don't see any questions here. So I'm going to ask, are there any final questions or comments about the event? About any coaching support that I can provide you? I told you I'd take my time today, and I did. I told you I'd be 100% available to you, and I have been. To answer any questions for those of you who have been on the fence, or maybe just didn't know me as well, or you had this looming question about how my services might be able to support you in some way. I wanted to make sure that, I opened the floor to be able to answer any questions that you might have for me today. And I believe that I have done that. I know there is a slight delay with Periscope. So I'll give you guys a second to post any final questions that you might have for me. And as I informed my list today, I said, look, I'll stay on as long as you guys have questions for me. I'll be here. I'll answer them. And when there aren't any questions any longer, then I'll sign off. I've had a blast. And I think I'm going to get a Monopoly game going tonight. I only play Monopoly with my family and make very rare appearances now because I always beat them. And as they start to watch their demise, okay, they slowly start saying things like I'm cheating, and they tag up against me, and I just wipe them out personally because it's just a lot of fun, very competitive. So we have a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna get them going with that tonight. They need some time to work up for that, right? I got to make sure they're properly hydrated, right, for the tears they're going to shed. Okay, I'm there to answer questions each and every day around packaging your knowledge at the highest level, how to price what you're doing to fully value the results that you create for others. And I literally pull back the layers and teach you how you should be pricing, right? What you're doing for high ticket. Based on my experience as a professional trainer. And I show you also how to position your marketing such that you're the obvious choice, and people who want what you do, right? They will seek you out. So you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You can let all that go. Forget this. And I show you how to identify only people who can invest in your services, which is super important. And that we just let everybody else fish in the same pond, right? Come on, we're not doing that. And then I also show you how to find buyers and how to sell and close, because you could be selling things, but maybe you're not closing things, and you need some support with how to do that in a way that's natural to you. And I teach that. I think one of the things you'll find if you are looking for new ways to do things, if you are attracted to having elevated conversations around packaging your knowledge, if you are tired of hustle and grind, dominating conversations, this idea of working hard but never quite ever being done, and you are interested in more models of ease and grace, I know that the event will be for you. Madera writes, I have only been in 3 weeks, but I already know investing in myself and working with me has been the most important decision of 2020. Right. And so you signed up to work with me 2 weeks ago, and the program that you bought was $24.97, right? And you made $1,000 like 2 weeks later. So you almost made half your investment back, right? Like you made an investment, and once you made the investment, within 2 weeks, you got more than half that investment back. Is that amazing? Okay. So, but you would have never been able to do that if you didn't make the investment. That's how it goes. That's why you got to find the money. And that's why having a conversation around, I don't have the money, is the wrong conversation. I don't even want to talk about it, because it means that we stay in the exact same place because we choose not to be creative around the change that we desire. You got to fight for that change, and then you got to show up in a way for yourself that in a way that you never have before, right? Because it's going to be transformational for you, and that's really important. That part is very, very important. So, I would say that the conference is for you if you are in that place where you value the step by step and you are ready to do the work. And that means, you want to put an hour, 90 minutes in your business each and every day. Come on. If you're that person, like, you keep talking about how you don't have time, but you also don't have time to do the things you want to do. But you fight for that thing you don't want to do more than the thing you want to do. It's not for you. Okay. I'm looking for women who need to make room and want to make room for the things that will change your life. Those are the only kind of people I like to work with because they're the only people that will change your life. I always think about it. It's like, imagine that you want more time, but you don't invest time to get more time. Are you serious? Okay. It is for you if you love being in the company of highly actionable people. If you love being around women I call giants, your ambition level and above, and probably above, right? That will help you, and we've got a highly actionable community. So if that's something that's of interest to you, it's for you. It's for you if you are tired of information-based training, because it doesn't work. Information is the cheapest thing you could ever buy. What you actually need is to know what I did do. And the only thing I teach is what I do. Exactly, step by step. That's what you need. You got to know. I mean, if you know what to do, then you can do it. It's not, you're smart, you're sharp, you already created results. You just don't know. There's something you don't know. And you got to find that. Okay. You need a mentor, a coach, whether it's me or somebody else, that will show you what they're doing. Okay. Not hide it. It's what we do differently. So there are no other questions. So I want to thank you for your time. I appreciate you. It was an honor to be here today. And I know that you're going to have a great and amazing weekend. I look forward to hanging out with you guys soon. All right. Have an amazing night. If we can answer any questions for you, you can always write redrickteam@gmail.com, redrickteam@gmail.com. And my assistant will reach out to you directly if you have any questions logistically about anything that you see. Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great and amazing day. Bye.